Hello Edexcel students, what a great video this is for you guys. We're looking at hot topic areas for paper one. These are topic areas for you to weigh up in your revision. An extra 10% of your revision time should be devoted towards these topics, whereby if they come up, you're laughing, you can write great essays, but we're not disregarding other topic areas in the course. You're learning everything. So that even if these don't feature significantly, you're all good. You can write great essays regardless and still hit the top marks. Note that this isn't just for paper one, right? You've got paper three as well. So any topic areas that don't feature from this list coming, think about them potentially as being hot topic areas for paper three as well. So let's dive in. What's topic area number one? Know your market structures very, very well. I've got my eye on perfect competition or just very highly competitive markets, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. They're the ones that I would give an extra bit of weighting towards. When it comes to your market structures, know your characteristics well, know your diagrams inside out. Those diagrams illustrate how the market structure works, the prices that are being charged, quantities produced, profits made, and from there you can work out the pros and cons of the market structures. If you're writing essays about them, it will be very, very easy for you. But a big topic area, focus on the market structures I mentioned, and if they come up, great position for you guys. Then revise very well government intervention to deal with inefficient market structures. That part of theme 3. We're talking regulation, yes, but also privatization and nationalization. They could all be individual 25 markers. They could be shorter essays in section B as well. Just know very, very well what the policies are, what the pros, what the cons are, be able to write essays about them all, because there are so many themes that examiners can latch onto to ask you questions about. Take nationalisation first. Did the Labour Party win the election later this year? They want to nationalise a wide variety of industries and even start up a nationalised green energy company. The steel industry in the UK has been suffering a lot. Whether that should be nationalised has been a major talking point. Whether rail franchises should be nationalised, it's happening by stealth. The Labour Party want to fully nationalise the rail industry if they win the election. So nationalisation is a major theme. On the regulation side, a big theme is tech companies. Massive abuses from tech companies, not just in the UK, but throughout the EU. Lots of regulation to try and deal with that, in particular windfall taxation and other notable forms of regulation. So know about that well. More recently, windfall taxes on energy firms and their profits, not the retailers, but the manufacturers, think like Chevron and Shell, BP, Exxon, those kind of companies. So being able to discuss and evaluate windfall taxes is a good idea. Other regulations, like for example, the energy price cap, know about like significant mergers. Recently, Microsoft merged with Activision. Just know about mergers. Could be a potential 25 marker as well, discussing impacts of mergers. But this whole topic area of government intervention to deal with inefficient market structures is a big area to weigh up. Follow that advice. Next is labour market. Know your labour market very well. Has the potential to be a big 25 mark area this year. The last 2 years, trade unions have been very impactful in the UK economy, organising a wide variety of strikes, causing a lot of problems actually to the wider economy and for firms, for the goal of collective bargaining to push wages up. So know about the impacts of strikes, the negative impacts, the potential positive impacts of trade union involvement, but also know about wages within monopsony labour markets, especially within the public sector. How public sector wages, wage growth there has been very paltry. Public sector pay actually has not been very good, despite private sector pay growth being considerably higher. The role for trade union intervention there within a monopsony labour market to drive wages up could be an interesting question this year. But also in the UK, regional wage differentials are very strong, aren't they? Wages in the south tend to be very high compared to in the Midlands and in the north, considerably lower. So understanding why, the causes of regional wage differentials, and also potentially policy remedies to those wage differentials could be a question area. And also recently how the cap on bankers' bonuses has been lifted. So understanding the impacts of that, the pros and cons of that. Various labour market themes there, but the general advice to you guys, just revise labour market really hard, as something from there could well feature this year. And lastly, make sure you're revising market failure very well. It's such a big topic area, could be featuring in paper 1, but also in paper 3. You just need to be revising it extremely well. And when questions on market failure come up, they're always tied to major contexts, whether UK context or just global context. So here are some notable ones to look out for this year. The rise of vaping as a substitute to traditional cigarette consumption, but there's a lot of imperfect information out there. as to the impacts of vaping, how there are still harms to the individual who vapes, there are wider negative externalities associated to its consumption, but also the disposal of vapes, the environmental costs associated with that. So know about vaping market failure, but also ginormous market failures like plastic waste and recycling, policies to deal with those market failures, climate change, and the big debate in the UK is whether we need a carbon tax. Many countries in the world have one already. It's been a heavy debate in the UK whether we should use one. So just know the merits, the pros and the potential drawbacks of a carbon tax, as well as generally policies to deal with climate change. Also, fracking has been on the agenda the last year and a half, 2 years, to promote energy security in the UK. So know a little bit about fracking, the pros and cons of it. The rise of online gambling, especially for young people, how it's becoming an addictive habit, a dangerous habit. So know about potential policy remedies there, as well as the general market failure taking hold there. On the positive externality side, policies to deal with childcare related market failure, dentistry related market failure in the UK, whether state provision is working adequately or not, whether alternative policies need to be considered instead. Also know about like HS2, cuts towards HS2 have been announced in the last year, the potential impact there. But also housing market inequities, how house prices, again, are just rising, becoming unaffordable. But also housing market inequities, how house prices are just going up and so unaffordable for the vast majority of people in the country, especially those on low incomes or for first-time buyers, but also how the rental market has gone berserk since the end of COVID lockdowns, and how even rents are quite unaffordable for a lot of people, or taking a large chunk of the salary of many earners. So policies to deal with housing market related inequities or market failures. Interesting context. Just know market failure well. Not sure about paper 1, but certainly for paper 3. So there you have it, Edexcel students. Hot topic areas for paper 1, yes, but also for paper 3 that you guys should be weighing up. Give an extra 10% of your revision time towards these topic areas, whereby if they feature, you're feeling great. If they don't, you're still revising everything else, you're good to go. There are so many more videos coming, guys, to help you peak and secure very high marks in these final exams. This is just one of those. They're all going to be uploaded in my revision for 2024 exams playlist, so look out for those. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out. I can't wait to see you in future videos, but thank you very much for watching this one. See you later, guys.